All right, everybody, it is time to catch you up on what has been going on with my game that I've been playing, Clue. So before I get started on the project, I'm going to ask you to please do all of the things. You know what they are. This is a project that was created for the Fantastic Ladies by Stephanie. This started June 9th of 2023 and will go until we get an answer, until we figure out who killed Mr. Boddy. It is based on the board game, I believe, not the movie, although, I love the movie too. Uh, Not that it matters. So she did this with the prompts being the suspects, the weapons, and the rooms. And she gives us each individual responses every month when we submit our answers. Now, because my life is what it is, I need to catch you up just a little bit because we lost a video in here. So I'm going to jump back a couple of months. I'm going to just kind of run through what I did and give you all of what I have going on. And I forgot to grab my sunscreen. All right. So anyway, I had done an update in August, which you guys saw. I wasn't planning on doing one in September. So how it broke down was my guesses were Colonel Mustard with the revolver in the hallway. And Stephanie's response was, it could not have been in the hall. Mr. Boddy had mischievously had the hall transformed during dinner. It was now a funhouse maze for the guests to navigate to determine if they were sober enough to leave. The workers were wrapping up construction when Mr. Boddy's remains were discovered, and none of them witnessed anything. All right. So then my next guess was Mrs. White with the knife in the kitchen. It could not have been the knife. The police were doing an inventory and found every knife in the house still in the dishwasher, which was at the end of its drying cycle when they arrived. If the knife had been used, it would no longer have been clean. So my final guess was Mrs. Peacock with the rope in the conservatory. And it could not have been in the conservatory. The conservatory has a dirt floor to maintain a natural aesthetic. If anyone had walked through the conservatory, there would have been dirt tracked through the manor from the door, but the floors were clean. All right, so that eliminated the hall, the conservatory, and the knife. So what I ended up doing for the next one, which that's the lost video, was I put in Mrs. Peacock, and for that I had 10 uses on my Lancome eye makeup remover. I had my Supergoop sunscreen in, and that was for Colonel Mustard, so I got 4 uses on that. Mrs. White was actually this old e.l.f. spray. It's e.l.f. And Jen Atkin, and this is the Mist Me spray. I had 9 uses on that, and then I finished it off. So that's just going to roll into the empties. Yeah, it's going into the empties. You'll see that later. For the weapons, I had a candlestick, which I had 11 uses, and I actually brought in this little sample of the Kula Do Good Illuminating Serum with sunscreen, and I got my 11 uses and then just finished this off. I was actually mostly using it on my arm. I didn't like it. It felt more like sunscreen than it did anything else for skincare, so I didn't care for it. Then for revolver, I got my 8 uses on my Hello Beautiful Bath & Body Works Fine Fragrance Mist, and then I finished that off, so that's also going in the empties. All right, then rope, something you were roped into buying. For that, I had brought in this Milani lipstick. This is in the shade 210 Nylon, and I had 7 uses. I got that. We'll get to that later. All right, then in the rooms, we had the kitchen, so something baked or could be used for baking, my Laura Geller baked highlighter. I got my 5 uses on that. For dining room, I had one of my Notoriously Morbid lip balms, and I'm actually using it in other projects, so I don't have it here with me because it's in a different section. That was in Sam's Strawberry Mousse Lip Balm. I had 12 uses on that, so that was really easy, quick, and done for me. For the library, I had a palette, and I got 11 uses on my Sephora palette. This is the Multitasking Baked Face palette. So that's what we look like. So I got all my uses on that. So what that means, I'm trying to run this through as quickly as I can to not make this too long. I guessed Mrs. Peacock with the candlestick in the kitchen. Now, what I got back was, it could not have been the candlestick. As a measure to prevent fires, no real candlesticks were made available. They were battery powered and made of plastic that would have broken rather than caused injury if anyone attempted to use one as a weapon. So then my second guess was Colonel Mustard with the revolver in the dining room. And Stephanie says, it could not have been Colonel Mustard. He discovered the fitness room in Mr. Boddy's basement. His heart rate monitor indicates that his workout was not disrupted during the time the murder occurred. So no Colonel Mustard. Well, then we've got finally Mrs. White with the rope in the library. It could not have been the library. Mr. Boddy's bookworms had made their cocoons. To ensure that they completed their metamorphosis, guests were not allowed in the library. So we're eliminating things slowly but surely. Now this brings me to a new thing, and I didn't ask Stephanie about this, but I'm still going to do this just by category until I don't have the category anymore. So we have got, for suspects, we've got Mrs. Peacock, Mr. Green, Mrs. White. For weapons, we only have the revolver and the rope. But for rooms, we have the lounge, the dining room, the kitchen, and the billiard room. Those are the things that are remaining for me in this game. So that means we're going to talk about what I'm bringing in. We're going to roll the dice. I got new dice. I didn't have dice down here, so I got dice. And I got nice big dice, so you'll be able to see what I get, because I will show them up and hold you. I will hold them up and show you. The words are getting transposed. Okay, that's going to make for a fun video for you. So if I keep doing that, forgive me. It just means that I need to take an aspirin. No big deal. So let's talk about what we're doing. I am going to bring in Mrs. Peacock. For that, I'm going to bring back in my Lancome. This is the, what is this? The Bifocil Double Action Eye Makeup Remover. So this is the one that has the two parts that you shake up. This time I don't know that it matters. I put a little line on it, but I don't know that it makes any difference because we go by number of uses. So I got 7. So we'll write that down. All right, then Mr. Green, so something green, and I said something blue for Mrs. Peacock. I don't know. I think I did. I'm going to bring in this. This is the Bath & Body Works Vanilla Bean Noel. This is the shower gel, so it is nice and green. I had put this in a project, and then things got really weird, so the very bottom of my goofy line is where we're at. If it's significant enough to make a line, we'll do that too. I don't know if it's going to matter, but let's see how many uses we got. Okay, we got 7 again, but we have different numbers for the 7, so we'll take that. And then for Mrs. White, I am going to bring in this brand new one. This is the Bath & Body Works Pure Wonder Fine Fragrance Mist. I use these as room sprays. And since I finished off the other things I had, I can bring a new one in. All right. And obviously the label is white. It's a clear product, so. All right, for that, we got 5 uses. Okay, this is all workable. So far, I'm not freaked out about anything. Now, since I only have the revolver and the rope, and we're allowed to work on 3 of each category at a time, I'm just going to work on the 2 that I have, and we're going to go from there. So for revolver, this is something that has a spray, and I want to bring in my Juliet Has a Gun perfume. This is in Magnolia Bliss, and it has a spray on it, so I wanted to get some use on it, and I thought, well, then I'll put it in a project, because then I get credit for using it. Whoop. Okay, re-roll because it fell off the notebook and changed the number. So for that, I have 6. That's not bad at all. All right, then rope, the item you were roped into buying. I'm sticking with my Milani because I like this lipstick. So that, like I said, this is 210 nylon, and that's what it looks like. It's a deep color for me, but it's a good color, and I love the formulation. It's really nice and balmy. So we're just going to keep it in because why not get some more use? Oh, well, all right, we've got 8. And for this one, I do uses. I actually do applications because I don't always put on lipstick multiple times a day, so I kind of have to count applications or I'd never get through these. But that's okay. And that was something, I was roped into it because those Milani lipsticks, I think they did the nudes first and then they came out like the pinks and berries, but they were just so hyped up and everybody was talking about them. I'm like, well, all right, I'll try them. So yeah, I ended up with a couple. Okay, now rooms. The billiard room, something that is a finicky product that works well some days but not others. And it took a second to think about it and I went, oh, no, 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 I have got the perfect thing. This is the LA Girl Pro Cover Concealer. This is not a concealer, it's a color corrector. So why it's called a concealer, I don't know, because it conceals the dark circles. But you have to squeeze it out to get it to this little brush tip, and I can't stand that part. Somebody had said that once you hit the air bubble, it means you're done. Well, no, it doesn't for me. But the problem is that it is running low. I'm using it. But when I have to squeeze, it'll kind of come out I'll get nothing or it'll come out in a glob. So some days I look like an Oompa Loompa under my eyes. And some days it's just really perfectly light and blends in really well and just, gives me a little coverage. I'm not sure if you can, oh yeah, you can see there's it's a peach one there on my hand. So this is my finicky, and it is. And it doesn't help that I'm not always fully coherent in the morning and only 3 uses. But I'm not always paying attention to how hard I'm squeezing stuff. If my hands are not working as well some days, I have trouble getting it out. I'll be glad when it's done. I don't dislike it, but I don't like fighting with it. So I am more than happy to get that out of the collection at any point. All right, now dining room. So this is something that is food related, and I thought with that, I'm going to actually bring in the Vanilla Bean Noel body lotion. This is the body lotion, not the cream. And I did mark where I'm starting because I had another line from before. But the reason I am doing this is because if anybody has ever had vanilla bean ice cream, you know where I'm coming from. I like vanilla bean flavoring in things, and that is a food item, so therefore I figured that counted. Let's see what we get. We got 5. All right. And then my final thing is the kitchen. And for that, it's something that is a baked item or something you could bake with. And I am sticking with my Laura Geller. This is the baked highlighter, French vanilla. Same one I've always been using. I have got a heck of a dip there in the middle finally. So that is what it looks like. And I don't know. Okay, yep, that's what it looks like on my hand. You can actually see that. All right, now get to my jumbo dice and see if I can get a good high number. Well, medium. I got 7. So that's not bad. All right. Those are the items. Those are the numbers. That's what we'll be working on until the next one. And I've discovered that I am all or nothing. I always work on this right away. I'm super excited to get this done because I love playing the game. Problem is, we have to have our guesses to Stephanie by the 9th. And then she responds on the 9th, rather. So if I don't put them in right around the 1st of the month, I end up missing that, and then I end up not getting them in until late, and then I feel guilty, and I don't want to make her have to go back just to take care of me. So then I end up going, well, I'll just wait until the next one. Well, that's not really been successful for me with all the other issues I have. So unfortunately, Stephanie, if you see this, I actually do apologize because I'm making you work harder for this. I need to put these things in at the beginning of the month so that when she gets back to me on the 9th and gives me responses and I know what I'm doing, I can start planning for the video and for what else I need to use and what I need to do. Otherwise, I miss the whole stupid video upload type of recording and uploading part of this game. Wow. Yeah, told you it was going to be a good video for you. All right, so that's where we are with all of that. Then we're going to move on to the music moment. And yes, I actually keep the notebook. I keep everything written down. I write down her responses. I got it all here. And I will need to do that because I don't have my note cards written out yet. But the music moment for today is actually a band we've talked about before, and it is by the band The Stripes. Now, you know they're an Irish band. I decided that I was going to put in Mystery Man, I think it's the opening track of their debut studio album, Snapshot. And really all it is about is this guy who sees a girl who he's kind of interested in, but he wants to kind of keep her intrigued. So he wants to be her mystery man. He doesn't want to tell her his name and all that other stuff. So It's just a cute little fun song. I'll link a version of it down in the description box for you. So, as you know, as always, oh, and what was I forgot to give you the hashtag. Good. Yeah, I'm a mess. All right. Seriously. Hashtag panning clue is what we've got for this one. I will have that in the title box, but then you will find Stephanie and you will find the Fantastic Ladies as well as the song by the Stripes down in the description box for your viewing and listening pleasure. This has been an absolute joy, and I am sorry I am dropping the ball on it. I hope you guys are having as much fun with this game as I am. So until next time, everybody, see ya. Bye.